So this week, Aquarius, these two cards, I kind of had to like sit back and laugh for a minute because it's a pretty simple, straightforward message. But there are a couple of different things that I'm feeling with it. So this week, from Lay Vampire, Aquarius, you pulled transgression, flaws, contradictions, and mistakes. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled abundance. Now, transgression, the blessing here says when we go against our integrity, our soul will let us know. And if we continue to deny that inner voice, the universe will show us where we are going wrong. And then working with this card says, make amends, take stock, assess, and redirect, and come back into harmony with the voice of your soul. But I mean, for me, it's just like, okay, the contradiction with abundance. Maybe some of you are needing to get a little bit, more balance with money. Some of you may be wanting abundance, but like not properly focusing on it. Now, abundance from Chakra Wisdom. The inspiration says, think about your relationship with money. Are you the wise girl or the foolhardy man? Money is naturally attracted toward appreciation and gratitude. The personal question says, be wary of using your financial situation as an excuse to avoid doing something. Are your thoughts and actions around money empowering or disempowering you? And then the key ideas are abundance through gratitude, releasing regret, and being good with money. So abundance is fantastic to see, but looking at transgression, maybe spending a little bit too much money, like saying that you're wanting to save money, but then you're contradicting that by turning around and spending, right? And the need to make amends here is like to kind of slow down. But the other thing that I do get here looking at the two is that maybe some of you don't have your thoughts quite right when it comes to thinking about abundance because of the word contradiction like sticking out. Well, if you're... All right, Aquarius, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. The Princess of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles. This to me always reminds me of the person who is willing to bust their ass and work their way from the bottom of the ladder to the top, right? This is also like talking about learning something new. That it is the student. But then, the other feeling around this is like getting messages here in regards to, abundance and finance and money. Maybe there are new ideas that are happening for you where there is financial gain, right? Maybe learning to do something new and creating some more money. But I do like the Page of Pentacles, right? It is achievement through hard work. Oh, and in the past, the Prince of Wands or the Knight of Wands. So for me, looking at it, it could represent a person coming through. But when you're connecting it with the page, I mean, the knights and the pages, the messengers, right? I mean, it definitely can represent people. I mean, you're looking at a child and then you're looking at the young adult, right? But to me, that almost feels like you being like passionately driven here to do something that has financial backing to it. But there's a passion here for it and the willingness to like bust your ass for it as well. Talking about contradictions. The Ten of Wands in the present, being overwhelmed. Here's the thing, the feeling around this already is, you're passionate, you're on fire, you're after it, right? And it has like fantastic potential here when you're looking at the Page of Pentacles. And I feel like, a lot of you are really working hard at this. And, there's that gradual climb toward, financial stability here when you're looking at the page and then working your way up to like the pinnacle of success and the pentacles, right? But seeing the Ten of Wands in the present is like, it's too much. It's too much. This is one of those cards where I've always said that, being in a management position, for me, the word delegation is drilled into my brain every fucking day. You need to delegate. You need to delegate. You have to delegate these tasks out, right? And that's one of the things with the Ten of Wands. But I don't necessarily think that there is anybody around you that you can, hand things off to. It feels like you've loaded yourself down with your passions, basically. And there's so much. Oh, look at it. I'm telling you. So future conditions, the Eight of Cups. This is walking away from what is emotionally dragging you down. The reason why we say with the Eight of Cups, it is about moving on emotionally before you do physically, because there is a question here on whether or not you are actually moving away. It's saying that emotionally you've been done with this for a while. The hard thing though is when you spent so much time on something and then you have to walk away from it, it can be difficult. But if you're like blah emotionally with it, basically looking at it, to me, it's just saying that, first of all, you got to lighten the load, right? Maybe the focus needs to be more on, putting in the time and effort toward, your passions, and not so much like overwhelming yourself with other things on top of what it is you're truly wanting to do. Because I see this as you doing something that you really want. You really want it. You're willing to work for it, damn it, right? And it may be something new or learning something new, but you're so overwhelmed with shit. And the Eight of Cups is just saying that in future conditions, you're going to get to a point here where, hopefully you're not walking away from everything. Just, the things that like are a little bit too much. It's like, just one too many. The straw that broke the camel's back, right? It's just one too many. And maybe there are some things that you're just kind of done with and you need to walk away from, so that there can be more focus on what you have a passion for. Oh, look at it. Your best path to follow. I'm telling you. Now, for some of you, this could definitely have to do with a fire sign, right? Or some of you may even have fire in your chart, looking at the Knight of Wands coming through. But the King of Wands as your best path to follow. This position for me has always been Spirit's advice to you. And what it's saying here is that you have wisdom, you have passion, you have drive, you chart your own course. This is you being wise and going after what you have a passion for, right? I think you already inherently know that. I think there's just, the reminder here that you need to put more time and effort into what you have a passion for, and walk away from what, is just a little bit too much. But I do like it. I do like the energy. And then, when you are talking about delegating out tasks, when I look at the King of Wands and like the Queen of Wands, right? The King of Wands is, he's so on the move doing things, right? I mean, he's not foolishly pursuing his passions, but this is somebody who gets bored with details, right? And he just kind of hands it off to her, like, here, you manage this crap. I've got other things I'm wanting to do, right? But I still kind of get the feeling here that maybe what you're doing is something that you can't really hand off to somebody else. I mean, there may be little things here and there, but what you're doing, I feel like, is a lot. But it's there's the passion there for it, And this isn't something that if you have a passion for something, you're not going to hand it off to somebody else and go, here, help me with this, right? No, because that's yours. You want to do this. You know what I mean? But I do like the energy of the King of Wands. I would just say that, maybe not worry so much about details. I'm kind of hearing. And focusing on the passion and the drive. Oh, and your environment. And that's nice. That's nice. So the Four of Wands. Here's the thing. This card very much is about celebration, right? When you're looking at love readings, you can talk about weddings, when you're talking about celebrations, you're looking at family reunions and weddings and things like that, whatever. But the biggest thing for me with this card always has been that this is where, the foundation is laid and you have the four walls up. It's time to take a break and celebrate how far you have come. You understand that there's still more to do, clearly. It's just that I think you need to celebrate how much you have done, because I feel like you've done a lot. especially with the Ten of Wands being there. And I think you are pulling out a little bit more wisdom here when it comes to, you know, the Eight of Cups. And then the other thing too is if you're looking at learning something new, again, the straw that broke the camel's back, it might be one too many. And there needs to be like a purging here almost. But you have to keep your focus, you know, on what you're really wanting, what you're really wanting to do, what you're really wanting to learn about, what you're really wanting to put your time and effort into and work so hard for. But I do think that you need to give yourself a pat on the back at the same time. Your hopes and your fears, seeing things in a different perspective, the Hangman. So yeah, you know, sorry guys, I had to take a drink of my spiked coffee. So the Hangman, looking at that in your hopes and fears is saying that, you know, you're hoping to be open to all perspectives. And this seems to be a continuous feeling with Aquarius. Every time I do your readings, I get this feeling of you being so open to all different views. I mean, there's immense wisdom in that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you just get to the point where you understand that, you know, maybe I need to complete some things first before I start new things, right? But I kind of worry a little bit with the Eight of Cups. But, you know, looking at the King of Wands there and then seeing the Hangman, you know, I do think that you have that enlightenment and that understanding that maybe there are some things that, you know, you may have put a lot of time and effort into, and emotionally it was something that, you know, at one point made you happy. But now if it's kind of dragging you down, you know, knowing that now is the time to release that, right? Because overall the feeling here is needing to put more energy and more focus into the new things that you're wanting to learn and completing old things first. Oh, look at it. Shit. So yeah, I would say abundance is probably, you know, the right card. And again, with transgression and the contradictions, you know, and I think it's just the way that, you know, you're thinking about the things that you are doing that not only do you have a passion for, but are creating some kind of, you know, financial gain here, because the page and the knight, yes. And you pull out with, you got two knights sitting here, right? This one's faster, this one's slower. It's like you boom, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, I gotta slow down, right? The Knight of Pentacles, for me, again, with the page, there is a lot of hard work, a lot of time and effort being put into something here. A lot of time and effort. But when you're looking at the Knight of Pentacles, it's slow. It's so slow. It's slow moving. It's like, oh my God, right? But I think that with what you're pulling here with the King of Wands and the Hangman, it's like you understand. You understand that things are going to have to slowly build. And the other thing is, you know, very much when I say the Knight of Pentacles, it's laying down those plans, those practical plans, right? And really putting in the effort for this, even though it may take a long time. The other thing is, don't drag your fucking feet on walking away from shit that is done with, right? You need to complete it. You need to complete it. If you're looking at this energy here, it's like, right, there's a need here for, you know, you to celebrate the accomplishments that you have. But then there's also a need here to lighten the load, right? Complete some things out that need to be finished, and then go ahead and walk away from, you know, what you're done with, so that you can start putting more time and effort into the passion and the drive and whatever new things you're learning. I like it. I just kind of worry where you come in with this, like, you know, fast energy, and then you come in, or you come out with this slow movement. Like really slow, right? And for some of you, if you are learning something new, you know, it's not something that you're just going to quick pick up on though either. But I think that you have the wisdom and the understanding to know that, you know. All right, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. But I do like this reading because of the feeling of abundance, absolutely. And if you put, I mean, and that's true for anything. When you're putting in the time and effort for something, You know, you may hit some bumps along the way, right? But eventually, when you're doing this and your focus is in the right spot, it has the potential to create great abundance, great abundance. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Purpose. What is your purpose? Finding your purpose. Yes. Yes. That's exactly what you're doing. Initiative, taking the initiative. And you're doing that as well. Assurance, I think, is the universe trying to let you know that it is okay. It is okay to complete things out a little bit early, right? And move on. You know, I mean, you don't want to continue to waste your efforts into what is just, you know, over and done with. But assurance and abundance, perfect. It's perfect. But finding your purpose and taking initiative, these two together, amazing. It's amazing. You know, we can sit around and think about all the things that we want all day long, but if you're not willing to get your ass up and start working toward it, you can't expect anything to manifest, right? But being able to know what your purpose is a beautiful gift. Beautiful. Look to your inner strength. I'm seeing this one a lot. You are stronger than you realize. And then physical touch is important. Nice. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. Pat yourself on the back, damn it, because you deserve it. But looking to your inner strength is definitely speaking to, you know, this energy here with the 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups, and then the 4 of Wands. You know, you have the strength. You have the strength to continue to learn new things, put your effort into the things you have a passion for, but then also being able to maybe complete things out a little bit early that really aren't serving you. You know, there's almost a feeling here of like, you have to do it. You have to do it. You got to finish it out. And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Because your passions are ultimately more important. You know, so definitely when it comes to what's happening with you externally and what is happening with, you know, in relationships, definitely your inner strength is what's going to help you get through it. And I don't think you guys are going to have an issue with that. Not with initiative sitting there, but physical touch. You know, if you're in a relationship and you're happy and you're just struggling with some things with work or school or the things that you're working toward, right? That kind of energy, when you get that hug or that pat on the back from somebody who loves you and sees how hard you're busting your ass, can really open up the energy, right? So, but also, damn it, I'm telling you, you got to give yourself a pat on the back because I do feel like a lot of you deserve it. Okay, Aquarius, so I do think that a lot of you have a passion for something here, big time, big time. And you're learning something new. And you're doing something new. But I think it's just one too many. One too many for some of you. And it's like, you need to finish out things maybe a little bit early. It's not that you're abandoning projects. I just think that, you know, if you're putting so much time and effort into something that just makes you feel like, oh, I'm so done with this, right? Then maybe it needs to be completed a little bit early. And then on the other hand, I'm telling you, you need to give yourself a pat on the back because you're doing a lot, right? And I feel like you are successful in whatever it is that you're doing. But I think there just needs to be more focus on what you have a passion for rather than continuing to work at things that should be completed. I do. I think that you're going to have to complete some things a little bit early. Just so that you can get fully into this energy here where you're learning something new, you're following your passions. It's going to be a little bit slow going, but seeing the Hangman, you know, that to me, when I see it for Aquarius, it's a natural energy for you, being able to see all sides of a situation, right? It's a little bit like, it kind of has a justice feeling to it where, you know, you can weigh out the options, but you have the ability to see everything that you need to see. And I think that you understand what's going on. It's just needing to really let go of those things. You know, and it's hard to do. When we spend so much time with something, it's hard to just walk away from it. But, you know, overall, I do think that these two are really good. It's going to be a lot of hard work. There's going to be new things that you're learning. But if you put in the time and effort here, there's no reason why you can't have some serious financial gain with this too. But when it comes to purpose and initiative and then assurance, Yeah, I think you're okay. And being able to know what your purpose is fantastic. You know, a lot of people struggle with that. And for Aquarius to know what their purpose is beautiful. And definitely take the initiative and look at your inner strength. Absolutely. When it comes to having to walk away from them things, again, you have to not look at it as like you're abandoning things. You're just completing things a little bit early because there are other things that you're wanting to look at. So tap into the inner strength, definitely. As far as relationship goes, you know, your partner can definitely be the one that's coming through helping you with that as well. Now, as far as transgression, I don't feel in any of this that you've done anything wrong. Like, you know, I don't feel like you're purposely making any kind of contradictions or mistakes. It's more that there is a contradiction between what you're thinking and what you're actually doing, right? And again, it's just a need to release that load so you're not overwhelmed and you have more time for the new things that you're learning.